probably out of not enough information to tell them that I have checked these guys and I have taken it through. I can tell you this which is coming to the table is safe.
Yeah, it's very important. So what about those people, those critics who are against GMO? What alternatives do they have?
Okay, in a conversation that I have participated in, they are talking of other means of enhancing production, which is correct. Irrigated agriculture, better ways of managing our agro-ecosystems. There are several, there are a number. But also mitigating loss in the stock. What is that called? Post-harvest losses. Those are a combination of actions that would mitigate losses and mitigate the kind of problems that we are having, including climate change related. Now, GM technology is an added tool in that package. So it is not coming to replace fertilizer. It's not coming to replace weeding. You will still have to weed for your crop. You will still have to apply fertilizer if the soil is not has issues. You will also need to manage your storage properly. So the concept that when this comes, everything else stops is not correct. It is an additional tool. And one way that it can contribute towards even climate change mitigation is if you use BT cotton, for example, you will only need to spray 3 times, as opposed to somebody who is growing on BT who will need to spray 12 times. So you can imagine how much chemical spray that goes out. And you know the spray is not specific. It's killing many other things, including lizards and other arthropods and other insects and other things in the neighborhood. So beneficial animals or beneficial organisms are affected. But when you grow BT cotton, for example, it is only targeting the bulb, and it will not affect anything else, including the ladybirds and the bees that pollinate the plants. So it is contributing, therefore, to mitigation of climate change. But also to emphasize that this is not to say that anything that comes is good. You will have to check and confirm the safety.
Okay. There are those who say that the technology will destroy biodiversity.
Yes.
So what will you say about that?
I think that is not true, because I do not see the connection. Given the cotton, BT cotton example that I have given, how would that really destroy biodiversity? I thought it would enhance, because you are reducing use of detrimental chemicals, and therefore it will only target that particular insect. In fact, at that particular stage in its development, at the larvae stage, when this larvae becomes a pupa and eventually an adult, the protein becomes ineffective in them. So it is very, very specific, and therefore, in my opinion, and unless really somebody demonstrate those who make that claim, I do not see how a self-defending cotton plant would destroy the biodiversity.
Okay. So maybe last question here now. What will it take to establish an indigenous seed facility, just like the case in the UK?
I think, okay, that is of course not within my purview, but there has been discussions on establishing the National Biological Resource Center. Not only seeds, we have useful microorganisms that are endemic in Kenya that needs to be preserved. And that discussion, if I can refer you, I will refer you to the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation. And if anyone wants further information on that, you can talk to one Dr. Benson, who is in charge of biological sciences up there. Together with others in the national museums and also in the National Gene Bank at Karo, they developed a proposal towards the establishment of a National Biological Resource Center, which would not only preserve seeds, but also preserve microorganisms that are endemic to Kenya. And this stemmed from the establishment of NACOSTI, which gives NACOSTI mandate to regulate research in the country. Because at one point, some researchers came into Kenya and said they are going to conduct research at Bogoria, where there is hot springs in Lake Bogoria. And when they went there, they found that the water coming from the ground is very, very hot. But then there is an algae that is surviving there. So they asked themselves, how is an algae, a living organism, able to survive temperatures of up to 110 degrees centigrade? So they picked that algae, went away with it, they analyzed and found an enzyme in that algae which can survive those high temperatures. And they wanted an enzyme that can be used in bleaching jeans. You know these trousers, jean trousers, people don't like them in Russian blue. They want it bleached.
Yeah.
So the process takes place in very high temperatures. They couldn't find an enzyme that can survive, so they used that one. And now they have patented it, but it is ours. So a resource center is useful. What it would take really is we have a seed bank at Karo. I'm not very sure. There is a gentleman called Dr. Estelio Nyamongo. Probably if approached from Karo, he can make more professional comments in this area. But mine is to emphasize the usefulness of that, so that we don't keep losing losing diversity in our crop plants.
Okay. So when we say that there are hybrid kind of maize and fruits grown in Kenya, similar to GMO?
No. There is that talk. You walk around and find a very nice looking tomato which is big and smooth, and people say that is GMO. If you ask people today on the streets what is GMO in the market, they will say chicken. You know, the chicken that grows faster. That is not true. There are only 13 crops that have been commercialized that are GM. For our case in Kenya, the only thing that is out there that is GM is BT cotton, which we approved last year. And maize is coming, BT maize. You see, as we also check the safety, we check the relevance for our socioeconomic benefit. Take, for example, herbicide tolerance in maize. It is made in maize, in canola, in rapeseed, in soybean. It is done so that you can spray your field with the herbicide, Roundup, for example, without killing your crop, but the weeds die. But would that be important for us, honestly? If your shamba is only about an acre, where you are growing maize, you also have pumpkins in there, you have groundnuts, you have kunde, you have many other things. That one is suitable for large-scale monoculture kind of agriculture.
Okay.
So when we carry out socioeconomic assessment, we pick that which is relevant for our socioeconomic situation. For Kenya, for example, top would be the pest resistance, pest and disease resistance. For any crop, maize, cassava, sorghum, whatever, wheat, or anything. Number two would be drought tolerance. Because those are the two things that cause us a lot of trouble in this country. Number three would be nutritional enhancement, so that we can have food that provides enhanced nutrition.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. To what extent can this technology be used?
Like any other technology, if one intends to use a technology for negative outputs, is a possibility. And again, that is why we exist as NBA, and also our colleagues at the National Commission that I mentioned earlier of Science and Technology, under the Biological Weapons Convention. It is possible to apply biology to create that which can be of use as a weapon of mass destruction. Those possibilities are there. Because when we speak about enhancing a plant's ability to defend itself, we can use the same technology to enhance their